Well, good morning and welcome to another Wine Steward video. I have some news pertaining to the wine bar activity. As most of you know, we feature a completely different menu absolutely every week. We want our regulars to be stimulated and we want newcomers to realize that they should come back for more of difference because most great lovers of wine love difference, not sameness, right? So to honor that, a different menu every week, whereas we do a different sparkling wine by the glass every week, we are adding to that, at least for a little while, a promotion featuring one particularly awesome sparkling wine, champagne from Louis Roederer, their collection series. This is fantastic champagne. It's interesting in that Louis Roederer Brut did not used to be among my favorites. This has become a favorite, if not the favorite for the price point of the better known names. But this brand is better known because it's awesome compared to some well-known sparkling and champagnes out there. This is the Louis Roederer champagne that will, for a limited time, be offered with a little thank you. You order a glass of this, we bring you a couple of potato chips with a little bit of creme fraiche on top. And on top of that, what do you think? Caviar. Yes, we're going to offer this more expensive but delicious glass with a thank you for your order treat of a couple of potato chips, creme fraiche atop, and adorning that, delicious caviar. So this happens while the caviar lasts. We're not brave enough yet to be carrying caviar. I think this store really should. Once we have our new cooler up front, we're going to entertain the notion of having it at least for the holidays. But in the meantime, we're going to see who's interested in caviar by giving you a little bit for free when you order a glass of Louis Roederer, the real stuff, champagne from Champagne, France, right? So we're going to start that program today. The caviar is in the house, and the only way you can enjoy it is unfortunately not to buy some and take it home, but to enjoy it with a glass of fantastic, up a notch champagne. Boom. I have another announcement pertaining to the wine bar. This is a program or a project still under development, but probably by next week we will have this rolling. Here is a good bottle of wine with a gizmo sticking out of it. Many of you will recognize this as the Coravan. This is a tool that only a few of you out there own because most of you don't need to protect your wine for a future glass of wine. In other words, this is a gizmo that upon your pouring some wine through it, it replaces the space that you've created with argon gas, a flavorless, odorless protective gas, the same gas that we use in winemaking at wineries to prevent oxidation. Well, we are going to choose one really great wine at a time to feature this way for those of you who want that up a notch glass of wine. The reason why we're using this gizmo to protect it is because not as many of you are going to be playing at that level. But we want to offer the idea. Our very good friend and customer, Todd, said, Jim, I will take you up on such a program. I will encourage others to do the same. So, encouraged by that, we're going to give this a try. We have this brand new device called the Coravan Pivot. And we will always, at least while we see this working, feature a great Barolo or a great Bordeaux or who knows what. But it will always be a up-a-notch wine that we would be more discouraged from opening were it not for this device protecting the wine. How long will we keep that wine under the argon? No longer than 2 weeks. That's going to be my aim on your behalf. If we still have wine after 2 weeks, out comes the capsule, and we'll probably discount that last glass of wine just to make sure somebody gets to enjoy it, and we, frankly, make a little money off of it, right? So this is meant to provide the higher end wine experience and also to give us the assurance that we're going to get through most of a bottle of wine and not have to throw the rest down the drain, if you get my meaning. Okay, enough about WineBar? No, not enough about WineBar. Let's just tell you real quickly that we do a red flight and a white tasting flight. nearly every week of the year, but this time the white flight has been replaced by an all dry rosé flight, including this one at the very, very end, a newly arrived Bandol. Bandol is the name of a location on the Mediterranean. It is part of Provence, but it is the most special part of Provence, most would say, for a particular rosé. Bandol rosé consists mainly of, or at least has a good amount of, Mourvedre. This is the world's shrine for Mourvedre red and rosé. And the rosés from here are beautiful. Many of you know the Kermit Lynch import Domaine Tempier. That Bandol now costs over $60 per bottle, if you can get an A, and this rosé doesn't. So this is a Bandol from the exact same place that is exquisite and part of the dry rosé flight. Yes, we'll do 5 dry pinks in a row. One will be domestic, and the rest, I think, this time around are from France. Different shades, different grapes are participating, and it's fun for the dry rosé lover and very, very fitting for this wine sipping time of the year. Hot summer day sipping. But don't forget that salade niçoise. I'm always talking about that. It pertains to drinking rosé. That is a fantastic dish. Look it up. Salade, S-A-L-A-D-E. Niçoise, N-I-C, with a squiggly under it, and O-I-S-E, Niçoise, as in salad from Nice. Okay. What are we doing in the red category? A flight of grilling reds, including this one from afar. This is 100% Syrah from the land of Crozes Hermitage in the northern Rhone Valley of France. And this one from Domaine Cambier was fermented and aged entirely in concrete egg, so no barrels were harmed in the making of this wine. Nor was the wine harmed in the making of this wine because it never saw wood and it didn't get wooded up. That said, Cambier does make more expensive Crozes Hermitage that goes to barrels, and yet that's a different wine experience, a very valid one as well. But the nice thing is this is freshness, dark Syrah that's perfumey, ebullient fruit, and since you're in the northern Rhone, you're also going to get that little touch of black olive, maybe some pepper, some violets, and perhaps a rumor of cured meat. This might sound strange, but if you have grown to know and love northern Rhone Syrah, you will understand that list of descriptors, won't you? That happens here in the fairly affordable Crozes Hermitage from Laurent Combier, the purple label, we call it. What's also happening in that flight? Another look at a revisit to our own wine, the wine that we made for this store, and had a lot to do with growing as well. Some of the fruit we grew landed in this bottle here. This is Syrah, about 55%, and then the next ingredient would be in proportional order Grenache, and then Carignan, and Mourvedre, and a little Muscat, and that's happening right here. I love checking in on this wine from time to time, and it's really fun to see how it develops. And that it was bottled on March 27th of this year, and it's getting only better. By the way, I like to serve these reds at this time of the year cool. These are grilling reds, we're calling them. And from a grilling red, you expect perhaps some weight and darkness and richness of fruit, but what you also want is refreshment at the same time. So 2 ways to achieve that: buy a red with better acidity to it, along with that generous fruit, good acid, and cool down your red wine a little bit. Pull this out of the cellar or put it in the fridge for 20 minutes to get it down to about 56 degrees, somewhere in there, to enjoy on a hot summer evening grilled fare along with a cool down grilling red, including Domaine des Plus de Vie. This is our baby. Bang. Anything else to talk about? Let's tell you about one more thing: the arrival and re-arrival of a product. This is a re-arrival right here. This is Nordes gin. Some of you have become very into this. So this is from Galicia, Spain, and it in fact uses some Albarino in its making. And Nordes is a more refreshing gin and tonic oriented gin from Spain. Most of Spain's gins are in fact for that, because the Spanish love their gin tonics. They can't pronounce that name, but or at least the way we would. But man, their gin and tonics, gin tonics, are works of art. If you've ever sat at a bar, perhaps in Barcelona, and requested a gin and tonic, a G&T, you're going to spend the next 4 minutes drooling while they slowly and carefully prepare a masterpiece in a big glass, adding little thises and that's, and obviously good Spanish gin and tonic. But to those two main ingredients are added frequently maybe coriander seeds or cloves, whole cloves, or peppercorns, or all of those things. And of course, you need that lime, right? So this is the re-arrival. What is the arrival? How about this? Yes, it now comes in the liter sizes. And so we have Nordes for you in two sizes, the value size, the super size, whatever you want to call it. But we are bravely carrying both now because we're not just the wine steward, we're also the spirit steward and the cheese steward and pretty soon maybe the caviar steward. But in the meantime, don't forget that you can have with your champagne a little bit of caviar right now at the Wine Steward's Wine Bar. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for selling out our upcoming Spain event. We have more to come. I promise you Burgundy and perhaps Sideways Country and perhaps a visit from Nicola Nickel this fall and so on. So stay tuned. Keep an eye on the experiences page of thewinesteward.com and join us sometime on the mezzanine. I'm sorry that we won't be seeing you if you haven't already signed up for Spain, because that's it. We have 40 people about to be very, very happy with a journey around that delicious wine country. But do keep an eye on what's coming up, all right? Experiences page of thewinesteward.com. Thank you so much for everything you do here. You're keeping this boat afloat. Even in our slowest time of the year, we really appreciate your participation. Thanks again.